Welcome on in to WagerTalk Extra. We're here reminding you each and every show that no matter what sport you're cashing on, that money is all going to spend the same. And for you NBA nuts out there, this is the perfect time to be tuning in to WagerTalk Extra. You need that itch to be scratched. That's what we're here for. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. And it's time to talk a little golf, a little PGA action. And for that, we welcome in the unofficial yet official co-host of the show. It's the bit that I'm going to continue forever, no matter how many shows you're on, Andy. How have you been, man? It's time to talk a little golf action. How was the weekend for you? No, it was nice inside the octagon. Was it just as nice out there on the greens?
Yeah, turned a profit again. That's 7 out of 7 tournaments. So we hit our 4% best bet. Scotty Scheffler over Rory McIlroy. That was nice because Rory McIlroy, we talked about as a player to fade, and we were able to take advantage of that. He fell apart on the weekend, so another profitable week. This is just what I do in golf. Just little bits of profit here, there, here, there, here, there, and then all of a sudden you look up and we're 7 for 7, up 25 units so far in 2023 just in golf. So weird tournament this week. Very, very strange tournament, but there's always opportunities to make money off of it.
Andy, it's what I do, Lang. So before we get into some players that can trip you up, you also have some Draftkings Darlings for the folks and a play in a top 20 look. I'm just wondering, you mentioned this is a weird tournament. I know sometimes the greens aren't very happy. You know, a lot of people say that there's some sogginess that goes on. So what makes you think that this event coming this weekend has a little bit different air around it?
Well, this is something to keep in the back of your heads about what's going on in golf this year. So, golf added, or the PGA Tour, I should say, added these events. They're calling them elevated events, much bigger purses than the other events. So, what you see is, for example, last week was an elevated event and it paid out a lot of money. So, what happened? A bunch of the big names showed up, including Tiger Woods. This week, the week after an elevated tournament, is not an elevated tournament, so the purse drops. It's a brutal course, and what happens? None of the big names are playing. There's, Sung Jae and Shane Lowry, and that's about it. And I think this is going to happen a lot this year, where you're going to find the tournaments coming after these elevated events are going to have kind of bad fields. So you're going to have to dig deep on some of these golfers, and don't be surprised if you see an event with a bunch of big names followed up by an event with you're like, who are these golfers? So this is something that's going to be different for 2023. Be prepared for it and kind of look ahead and see what these elevated tournaments are going to be, because the next week could be a little bit tougher. But like I said, it's a brutal course, and we there's lots of ways to profit off of it, but you're gonna have to dig deep on some of these guys.
And you thought the only hangovers came after the Waste Management Open. No, we're looking for some elevated event hangovers here. All right, Andy, let's get into some of these players that could potentially be tripping you up. It's been a great segment that we've continued to cash on here for free for the folks on WagerTalk Extra. So, Mike is yours. I think you got a two-pack for us.
Yeah, last week I went with Rory McIlroy and Patrick Cantlay. Cantlay performed well. He kind of proved me wrong, but Rory fell apart. So kind of 1 for 1 on those. Let's start with Aaron Wise as my first player to trip you up this week. He's 25 to 1 to win straight up and 9,200 on DraftKings. It's just not happening for him this year. He's finished 18th at the Tournament of Champions, but that tournament only had 37 players. He missed the cut the next two tournaments. He's outside the top 30 in this field in total strokes gained. He doesn't excel anywhere. He's not driving the ball accurate. There are tons of water hazards on this course. Uh, his lack of driving accuracy could spell trouble. There's no way I'm getting involved with him at 25 to 1 or this expensive on DraftKings. The only reason he's this high up is because of the complete lack of talent in this field up at the top. But no way I'm playing Aaron Wise. And then Denny McCarthy is going to be my second golfer that can trip you up. He's 25 to 1 as well, and he's 9,100 on DraftKings. And he is getting it all done just with putting. And I mean, that's it. He finished 30th and 3rd here the last 2 years, but this year his tee to green numbers are not good. His driving's not good. Approaches are not good. His total strokes gained are plus 1.23, and plus 1.18 of that is all putting. There are way too many ways that this course can bite you if you mess up. Driving it inaccurate is going to be punishing. Approaches that aren't accurate are going to punish you. I don't think his putting saves him this week. This course can attack you from multiple different areas. Whoever plays good is going to have a really good game in all facets, and I don't see that happening for Denny McCarthy. He's been a DraftKings darling for me at some of these tournaments this year. Not this week. I'm staying away.
Potentially some players that can trip you up. So, well, we got Wise, we got McCarthy, but then there's also some players that can make you some coin. Andy always puts out his DFS lineups that you can get over at his page, wt.buzz/AL. But for a little bit of a deeper dive, it's DraftKings Darlings time, one of my favorite graphics here on WagerTalk Extra. And Andy, we got 3 of them for the folks to round out their lineup. What are you eyeing?
Yeah, up at wagertalk.com, there's a free download. Just click on digital downloads, add it to your cart. It's free, and it's got my complete DraftKings lineup in there. I will tell you, I'm going stars and scrubs this week. I will start with Augusto Nunez. He's only 6,400. Listen, he's made the cut in 3 out of 4 tournaments this year. So at this price, all I need to do is have him make the cut and not fall apart on the weekend. This is his first full year on tour. He was not very good in the fall, but he seems to be playing much better in 2023. Putting's a little bit iffy, but he's finished 48th and 31st the last 2 events in much tougher fields. I'll take Nunez as my DraftKings darling as a scrub. And then another one, Mateus Schwab. He's priced as a scrub, but I don't think he's going to perform like it. Only 7,000. Schwab cannot go super low. Like, you'll never see him put together like 6 birdies in 8 holes, but he doesn't make huge mistakes. And that's key at this course. Last year, he finished 7th. All he did was not put himself in trouble, and he let everyone else get into trouble and just kind of slowly drop by him as everyone passes him, going wrong way on the leaderboard. Last week, he made the cut and finished 50th. That was a loaded field and a tough course. I think he gets a repeat of last year's finish, maybe not 7th, but top 20. So it's 7,000. That's going to leave me enough room to put a big name in, and I'll go with Shane Lowry. Lowry's got some unfinished business here. He finished runner-up last year, and it was brutal. He could have had a chance to win, and he got to the tee on the last hole, and it just poured rain. Just poured, and he had to drive the ball in this pouring rain, and he drove it. He didn't hit the fairway, and he ended up finishing second just because of an unlucky rainstorm. He's got unfinished business. He looked great last week, finishing 14th. So if I'm looking for a big name to put in my lineup, it's going to be Shane Lowry.
Nunez, Schwab, Lowry. It's the DraftKings Darlings. He is Andy Lang. And man, all kinds of great actionable information being dropped right here on Wager Talk Extra. And Andy, before we get into the free play for the folks here today, where he just explicitly tells you, just bet this, and here's why I want you to bet it. Let's just mention the fact that if people head on over to your page at wt.buzz/AL, not only are they going to find all kinds of winners, they're going to find an opportunity to ride with you through the end of March. And you come on here, we talk golf, we talk NASCAR, you break down UFC for us as well. All of that included for just $199. And with how you've been running, man, I'd argue that's a steal.
Yeah, when we pick specials, we like to try and pick the sports that we're running really good in. And right now, we're running good in just about everything. Our NHL props are doing great. We keep hitting big plays in UFC and all MMA. So just grab all plays and get you all the way through February and then all the way through March for $199. Good deal to get all of our sports and all of our percentages. 5% included.
Andy, it's what I do, Lang.
Now, I can't help it.
He can't help
that
it.
I'm custom made. I can't help
it. So, Andy, let's get into the free play here for the folks, and we're looking at a top 20 play. I had to get I didn't go short of whipping the woo out, but maybe we cash a couple more 5%ers. I'll come on dressed like Ric Flair. Top 20 play that you have here for the folks. What are we eyeing? And it's also some plus money as it stands right now.
If we hit enough 5% plays, I'll come on dressed like Ric Flair's daughter. If we keep hitting, I'll come on dressed like Charlotte Flair. Deal. All right, let's do free bet time. Matt Kuchar, top 20. He's the zombie of the PGA Tour. He just keeps popping up on leaderboards. How old is Matt Kuchar? 84. I don't know. It's a perfect event. for him. It's a watered down field. It rewards players who don't make big mistakes, and you don't have to be a super long player off the tee to succeed. It just checks all the boxes for him. He's fourth best in this field in total strokes gained in 2023. Last week was a tough course, tough conditions, and he finishes eighth. So he's never played here, which is kind of a surprise to me, but don't be surprised if he's in one of the final groups on Sunday. He's going to go out there. He's going to hit a ton of fairways. He's going to stay away from the trouble areas. He's going to take pars when he needs it, and he's going to hit a couple putts when you least expect it, and all of a sudden there's going to be Matt Kuchar inside the top 20 fighting maybe for a win. He's going to avoid big numbers, which is key here. He's going to make less mistakes than most of the other golfers, and it's a great price here. So always check your books to make sure if they pay out on ties or on dead heat rules. So make sure you're playing it on a book that pays out full on ties. But take Matt Kuchar top 20 at this plus money.
The geriatric free play of the day. Matt Kuchar going the top 20 plus 110. Andy, always love having you on here. Appreciate you. If you appreciate Andy Lang, go grab that 199 special. Run with him on everything through March, and then you might just see him as Charlotte Flair when all is said and done. So why not cash alongside with Andy en route for us having a Ric Flair, or a all Flair edition of WagerTalk Extra here in the future. Big thanks to Andy as always, and make sure you're subscribed here on WagerTalk TV so you never miss any of our great shows, including our next edition coming up of WagerTalk Extra. Andy going to talk a little UFC. Nick Borman's going to talk this PGA event, and Kevin Dolan going to come with a little rugby here for the folks only on WagerTalk TV.